Hello everybody, welcome to Short Shot Archery. Anthony here, and today in this video I'm going to take you to my coach's range. I'm going to go head up north for a lesson. I am going to take with me Jacob's setup, and I'm going to see what he has to say. So my coach Sungwoo, he runs SW Archery, but his background in archery comes from Korea. He actually lived there and grew up there, so he got trained there. And well, he's used to a particular setup, when it comes to stabilizers. He's pretty flexible, but this is something that he's not expecting. So I just really want to see what his reaction is and what his thoughts are on this setup. I'm not doing this to try to prove Jacob's setup wrong. I think it's just going to be interesting having somebody else's opinion, especially somebody that has a lot of experience like he does in archery from the Korean side of things, the Korean look on how they go about their archery process. So I think this video will be fun and interesting, and that's why I'm putting it together. The first thing that has to be done is, we need to assemble this stabilizer. So here I am taking apart an actual Doinker adjustable V-bar setup. Conveniently, the screws just come out, and then those two sides, I use them to make the Jacob stabilizer happen. Of course, if you're going to do this yourself, you probably want to do it a little bit more official, and a little more permanent than I am, because these don't really hook in the best. They do move around a bit, but they get the job done for this video and for sharing Jacob's setup with my coach. So next up, we got to install them into the bow, and they need to be installed, of course, on the top and the bottom, just like Jacob does. So I get the top one in, I adjust it to the angle that we're looking for. It's close, not perfect, of course, because if you saw my video when I actually shoot Jacob's setup, my stabilizers are a bit long for that. And then I do the same thing on the bottom, but on the opposite side of the bow. Whew! Alright, so we survived the adventure that is going to North Jersey. We're actually going to the area of Hackensack, or around that area. And now it's just a matter of waiting for Sungwoo to show up, because I beat him there. Alright, so now that we're in, I got the bow out, I put it together. Now it's time to ask Sungwoo what he thinks, to see his reaction to this. Now, I'm just going to let the whole clip play, and then I'm going to go back and maybe expand upon it. Now, I'm going to let the whole clip play, and then after it plays, I'm going to go back and expand upon some of the things he said, because, he didn't know, he knew that I was filming, but I didn't tell him ahead of time, so it was kind of unplanned, because these things happen. It was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. Oh, let's see what Coach has to say. So, with that, it's a little bit rough in terms of information being laid out, and we did talk after we turned off the cameras, because he was like, oh, by the way, you should do this. I was like, oh, don't have my camera on. So here we go.
Have you shot?
I have shot it. This is how that's how Jacob Wukie shoots.
Yeah.
the bow's very still when you shoot it. Like you shoot it, and it all stays
It doesn't
in
go
place.
like.
No, and you feel all the weight like right in here, and then even when you get back to almost full draw, when you're coming into anchor, it's very, very like steady. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Because of the weight.
Because of where the weight is. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
First of all, I have to see how you shoot, and I'm gonna see how like your ball like swing.
Okay.
Yeah. First.
All right.
So do you like it?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I just wanted to see what you had to say about it. We can give it a try though. I'll shoot with it.
That you like setting right?
Yeah.
Would be one.
See, it doesn't react a lot.
Yeah, because someone writes the ball like swing faster, more like feeling like more like satisfying. But if you don't, you know, if you don't like the like swing faster feeling, then it should be fine.
Really?
Your left arm looks steady.
Yeah, because you can really feel it more in your bow arm. Interesting, huh?
As long as you like it, when you pound it, when you pound it, feel like feels good, then it should be okay. But I've never seen like people shoot like that.
No, there's only one other person that shoots like it. That's why I was gonna set it up and bring it here because I was like, ooh, I want to see what you have to say.
Innovative.
Yeah, exactly.
So the reason why you like set it like this is like more stable when there's wind. When there's a wind, there's no like wobbling much.
Yeah, he was saying that because it's all the way out here, left and right, it actually wobbles even less because it's further. These V-bars, the bars are this far from the string, and from here
to metal.
Yeah, but they're further apart from each other because these are two, but these would be 1, 2, 3, 4 away. They're further away from each other. Alright, so there's the clips. I did edit it a little bit so that it flowed a little bit better than it originally did. Of course, my coach is kind of used to my random equipment showing up and being like, hey, look at this. He probably thinks I'm crazy at this point. Maybe I am, but he did have some good points. I don't know if you could hear them in the video, and he did expand upon them after I stopped filming. But basically, as he said, if your bow arm is holding still with this Jacob stabilizer setup, then you're good to go. If you don't feel like you have a lot of shaking in your bow arm and things feel nice and steady, then you're good to go. Now, there's also another trade-off. If you don't mind the bow really jumping out of your hand and swinging in front of you, like you don't really want that motion, then this is also good for that because your bow's not going to swing that fast because there's so much weight behind or where the string is. It's much further behind your bow. Unless you put a ton of weight in your front stabilizer, it's definitely not going to swing that fast. But overall, he was actually pretty pleased with it. Is he going to go switch to it or have his students switch to it anytime soon? No, but he did leave it open for me if I felt personally that it was helping my shooting out, helping me have a better bow arm and just make better shots. The feeling of it for me was better. He was more than happy to support me switching to this particular style of stabilizer setup. Now, at this point, I am not looking to switch to it, but it was definitely worth a try. And I'm thinking about actually doing some more adjustments to our more standard stabilizer setup that we're all used to seeing. I might get some light adjustable V-bars in the future and play with the angle of the side stabilizers. Right now mine are flat. There's no degree, there's no angle to them. They're not pointing down, they're not pointing up. They're just nice and flat. He actually suggested that I try Brady's stabilizer setup. Brady has adjustable V-bars, and there is an angle to them. And he said that that's something that Korea is actually working on getting into, because they're seeing that there's an improvement in the holding and the shooting of the shot by having a downward angle on your V-bars. Will everybody switch to it? No, but it gives other options to your shooting. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. At the end of the day, he was interested in it. He thought it was pretty fun and definitely not something he's seen before. But if you're somebody that really wants to try this out, he's a really experienced coach, and he felt that if it works for you, it works. It does its job. It's definitely going to stabilize the bow, and you should give it a try if it's something that you're interested in trying. Other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed sharing it with you. Please consider liking or subscribing. That is the best way to support this channel, besides checking out the shop and maybe picking up a Sure Shot Archery t-shirt. If you want to see some behind the scenes, check me out on Instagram at AnthonyArchery720. I try to put stuff I'm working on, or just maybe ideas that I'm working on, on Instagram. So other than that, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and as always, happy shooting.